My friends, the universe is not deaf, nor is it blind. It listens carefully to the whispers of your thoughts, and it reflects back the images you hold most firmly in your mind. What you focus on, the universe will provide. This is not a vague promise. It is a law as real as gravity. The mind works like a magnet, pulling toward itself the very things it dwells upon most consistently. When you allow fear, worry, and doubt to dominate your thinking, life responds by sending circumstances that justify those very emotions. It is not that the universe punishes you, but rather that you have tuned your mind to a certain frequency and you receive more of what you broadcast. In the same way, when you fill your mind with courage, vision, and faith, you will notice opportunities aligning themselves with your spirit. Life reflects the patterns of your thoughts as surely as a mirror reflects your face. Clarity sharpens this process. You cannot hope to receive what you cannot clearly imagine. A vague desire for success or happiness leaves the universe without instructions. Just as a builder cannot construct a house without a blueprint, you cannot build a life without a defined picture of what you want. When your vision is precise, when you know what you wish to see, feel, and experience, the universe has a clear command to follow. Precision in thought creates precision in results, and without it, effort dissipates into confusion. Desire is the fuel that drives this mechanism. A weak wish evaporates under the heat of life's challenges, but a burning desire survives storms and trials. That inner fire gives your thoughts power, and the universe responds to the energy you project. With desire comes faith, the unshakable conviction that what you long for is not only possible, but certain when you persist. Faith forms the bridge between imagination and reality, transforming invisible ideas into tangible results. Without it, the strongest desire remains little more than a dream unfulfilled. Action must accompany thought. Focus without movement is only daydreaming. When you act with conviction, you demonstrate to yourself and to the universe that you mean what you say. This forward motion attracts help, opens doors, and creates momentum. Persistence then becomes the guardrail, ensuring that when obstacles appear, you do not abandon the path, but instead prove the depth of your desire. Every step forward strengthens your claim upon the outcome you seek, and each act of persistence brings the result closer. Finally, the universe responds with abundance to a heart filled with gratitude. Complaining clouds the vision and shuts the door to blessings, while thankfulness multiplies what is already present. When you surround yourself with those who elevate your thinking, when you use imagination to build vivid pictures of your future, and when you take full responsibility for your life, you become a deliberate architect rather than a passive bystander. Your focus becomes your creation becomes your reality, and your reality proves that the universe never fails to provide what the mind demands with clarity, faith, action, and gratitude. When a person sets out in life without clarity, they are like a sailor drifting aimlessly at sea, carried by the winds and tides with no certain direction. To ask for success without defining what that success means is to wander without purpose, hoping the waves will deliver you to a shore worth living on. Life does not reward vague wishes, it responds to precise intentions. The clearer your vision, the more power it gathers, because clarity acts as a beacon to the mind and to the universe, pulling together circumstances that match what you hold firmly in thought. Clarity begins with self-honesty. You must ask yourself what it is you truly want, not what others expect of you, nor what seems convenient, but the very thing that lights your heart with passion. Without that honest recognition, you will spend your energy chasing shadows that do not belong to you. A person may toil for years after goals that were never truly theirs, only to discover that even in achieving them they feel empty. True clarity comes from within, and it begins by listening to the quiet voice that speaks your deepest desires. Once you have uncovered that inner desire, you must give it shape in your mind. Vague statements such as, "I want to be happy," or "I want to be successful," lack form and power. But when you say, "I want to build a business that serves people in this way," or "I want to create a life where my family thrives in health and freedom," you begin to craft an image the universe can respond to. The mind works best with pictures, and the clearer and more detailed the picture becomes, the more your energy will align with it. Clarity also disciplines your focus. Life is full of distractions and competing voices, but when you hold a sharp image of your desired outcome, you are less likely to be swayed by temporary setbacks or alluring detours. That inner compass keeps you moving forward, even when the path is long and the road is rough. Every decision becomes easier when you measure it against the picture you have painted in your mind. You either move closer to your vision or you drift away from it. With clarity, you will always know the difference. Ultimately, clarity is the language the universe understands. It is the blueprint handed to an infinite source of creativity and possibility. Without it, your efforts scatter, your energy dilutes, and your results remain uncertain. With it, you provide a command, a direction, and a purpose that life itself begins to arrange around you. Just as a builder cannot construct a home without a detailed plan, you cannot construct a meaningful life without a defined vision. When you decide what you want with precision, you give the universe the tools to deliver it. Desire is the spar that sets every great achievement into motion. A weak wish drifts away the moment it meets resistance, but a burning desire has the power to withstand storms and obstacles. It is that deep inner fire which refuses to be extinguished, no matter how difficult the road may become. When a person holds such a desire in their heart, it fuels their actions, sharpens their focus, and pushes them beyond limits they once thought impossible. This kind of desire does not allow you to quit. It keeps you awake when others sleep, and it pushes you forward when others give up. When you truly desire something, the universe begins to rearrange itself around that flame. Circumstances shift, people appear, and opportunities arise that might have gone unnoticed without the strength of your longing. It is as if life itself recognizes the intensity of your commitment and responds in kind. Desire acts like a beacon, sending out signals that attract what you need. But it is not enough to simply want something. You must want it with such strength that every fiber of your being moves in harmony with that goal. Desire also creates resilience. The journey to any worthwhile dream will test you with delays, failures, and disappointments. Those with shallow wishes will turn back at the first sign of trouble, believing the goal was never meant for them. But those with burning desire endure. They see obstacles not as signs to quit, but as challenges to overcome. Each difficulty becomes fuel for their determination, and every setback only strengthens their resolve. This unshakable spirit is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who merely wish for it. There is also a creative power within desire. When your longing is strong enough, your mind begins to search for solutions, ideas, and paths that were invisible before. Desire awakens imagination, and imagination gives birth to possibility. Many of the world's greatest inventions, discoveries, and achievements came not from casual interest, but from relentless desire. It is the inner drive that compels the mind to find a way, even when no way seems clear. Ultimately, desire is the seed from which all results grow. Without it, faith has no soil, action has no direction, and persistence has no energy. But when desire burns brightly, it becomes the foundation of every other virtue needed for success. It summons courage, it fuels discipline, and it attracts resources as if by unseen hands. The universe responds most quickly and most powerfully to those whose desires are not passing whims, but lifelong flames. What you long for with all your heart, and what you refuse to give up on, is exactly what life will conspire to bring you. Faith is the invisible bridge that connects thought to reality. It is not merely hoping that something will work out, but knowing deep within that it must. When a person carries faith, they walk differently, they speak differently, and they act with a certainty that others can feel. This conviction gives power to their steps and courage to their decisions. Without faith, even the strongest desire remains nothing more than a picture in the mind, a dream with no anchor in the real world. Faith is the force that breathes life into imagination and gives substance to things not yet seen. When obstacles arise, as they always do, faith is what prevents a person from collapsing under the weight of doubt. Challenges come to test the sincerity of every dreamer, and in those moments, logic may argue that the goal is too distant, too difficult, or too impossible. But faith silences that voice. It whispers that no matter how dark the path appears, the light is still ahead. Those who cling to faith in moments of uncertainty discover strength they did not know they possessed, and that strength pushes them forward when others would turn back. Faith also shapes perception. A person who believes will begin to notice opportunities where others see only problems. Their eyes are drawn to solutions, their minds are alive with possibility, and their hearts remain open to guidance. Life tends to reward this attitude because the universe responds more quickly to those who act as though the result is already on its way. This mental certainty alters behavior, making persistence natural rather than forced, and action confident rather than hesitant. Furthermore, faith has the power to influence others. People are drawn to those who believe deeply in their vision because faith is contagious. It inspires confidence in those around you, convincing them that your journey is worth supporting. Entire teams, movements, and nations have been built on the foundation of one individual's unshakable faith. It is a magnetic force that draws allies, mentors, and resources, amplifying what a single person could never accomplish alone. In the end, Faith is the secret ingredient that transforms longing into achievement. It is the assurance that the unseen will become seen, the intangible will become tangible, and the imagined will become real. A desire without faith fades like smoke, but a desire fueled by faith becomes destiny. The universe answers not to weak uncertainty, but to unwavering belief. Those who hold faith with persistence will one day look back and realize that what once seemed impossible has quietly become inevitable. Persistence is the test of sincerity. Every dreamer will at some point meet resistance, and it is in those moments that the universe asks, "Do you truly mean what you say?" Many people begin with excitement, but enthusiasm without endurance quickly fades when obstacles appear. Persistence is what separates a passing wish from a destined achievement. It proves the depth of your desire and the seriousness of your intention. Without it, even the brightest vision will die in the shadow of discouragement. Obstacles are not punishments, but stepping stones designed to strengthen your character. Each challenge contains a lesson, and persistence is the quality that forces you to uncover it. The person who endures learns resilience, patience, and adaptability, qualities far more valuable than any immediate reward. Those who give up too soon never realize that their greatest test often arrives just before their breakthrough. Persistence keeps you standing when others fall away, and that alone often becomes the decisive factor between failure and success. Persistence also builds momentum. With every repeated effort, no matter how small, progress accumulates. A mountain is moved one stone at a time, and persistence ensures that each stone is placed without pause. It transforms daunting goals into manageable steps, and before long, the distance traveled is greater than what once seemed possible. This steady movement forward signals to the universe that you are committed, and that commitment attracts opportunities, resources, and allies to match your effort. There is a hidden power in persistence that awakens creativity. When the first attempt fails, the persistent mind searches for another way. When doors close, persistence knocks on new ones until they open. This relentless pursuit forces the mind to grow sharper, more resourceful, and more inventive. Great discoveries, innovations, and victories have all been born from the refusal to quit. Persistence, therefore, is not only about endurance, but also about awakening possibilities that only reveal themselves to those who stay the course. In the end, persistence is the quiet declaration that nothing will stop you. It does not shout, it does not boast, but it endures until the result is achieved. The treasures of life are not given to those who try once and walk away, but to those who keep moving forward when the path is steep and the night is long. The universe respects persistence, for it is proof of faith in action. Those who refuse to quit will one day look back and see that every step, every trial, and every delay was shaping them for the victory they now hold. Action is the force that transforms thought into reality. A person may hold the clearest vision, nurture the strongest desire, and even cultivate unshakable faith, but without action, nothing comes alive. Ideas are like seeds, but action is the planting, watering, and nurturing that allows them to grow. The universe does not reward idle wishing. It rewards the individual who moves forward boldly, even when the path is uncertain. The moment you act, the world begins to shift, and unseen forces rise to meet your effort. Action has a power that thinking alone cannot match. When you step forward, even imperfectly, momentum begins to build. Small steps accumulate into larger ones, and what once seemed overwhelming becomes manageable. The act of moving forward creates clarity because each step reveals the next. Many people wait for perfect timing or flawless conditions, but in truth, perfection never comes. The courage to act now, despite uncertainty, sets in motion events that hesitation can never achieve. Through action, opportunities that were hidden begin to appear. People notice those who are moving with purpose, and doors that seemed locked often swing open once you knock with determination. Resources, guidance, and connections align themselves with those who take initiative. Action communicates seriousness not only to the universe, but also to those around you. It says, "I am committed. I am willing to do what is required." That commitment draws support in ways that planning alone cannot. Action also transforms the individual from within. Each step builds confidence, reshapes identity, and develops discipline. A person who acts consistently begins to trust themselves, and that trust fuels even greater courage. Mistakes and failures encountered along the way are not losses but lessons, sharpening both judgment and skill. Those who only think never gain this growth, for true learning comes only through doing. Every action, whether it succeeds or fails, pushes you closer to mastery. Ultimately, action is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It takes your focus, your desire, and your faith and gives them substance in the world. Without action, dreams remain locked in the mind, but with action, they become part of lived reality. The universe rewards movement, for movement is proof of belief. Each bold step forward declares that you are ready to receive, and with that declaration, the impossible begins to look inevitable. Gratitude is the lens through which abundance becomes visible. A person who spends their days complaining, comparing, or resenting blinds themselves to the blessings already present in their life. They see only lack, and so their mind continues to attract situations that reflect that lack. But when the heart is trained to notice even the smallest gifts, a breath of air, a moment of peace, a kind word, it begins to shift its focus. That shift opens the eyes to opportunities, resources, and joys that were always there but hidden beneath discontent. When gratitude becomes a habit, it multiplies what you have. The universe delights in giving more to the one who appreciates. Just as a farmer waters the soil that yields a rich harvest, life pours its blessings where there is recognition and thankfulness. A grateful person radiates a kind of energy that draws more good to them. Their appreciation invites the universe to keep supplying, for nothing inspires continued giving like a heart that honors the gift already received. Gratitude also transforms struggles into lessons. Instead of being crushed under difficulty, the grateful mind looks for the wisdom hidden within hardship. Even pain carries value when seen through the eyes of thankfulness. It teaches patience, resilience, and empathy. A person who can give thanks in both joy and struggle becomes unshakable, for they know that every experience holds meaning. This perspective sets setbacks into stepping stones and prevents bitterness from poisoning the spirit. Another power of gratitude lies in its effect on relationships. People are naturally drawn to those who appreciate them. Gratitude strengthens bonds, heals wounds, and inspires cooperation. When you recognize and acknowledge the contributions of others, they feel valued and respond with loyalty and support. In this way, gratitude not only attracts blessings from the universe, but also multiplies goodwill from the people around you. It is a force that builds trust and harmony wherever it is practiced sincerely. In the end, gratitude is both a magnet and a multiplier. It turns ordinary days into treasures and small moments into miracles. It shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present, and in doing so, it invites more of what you value into your life. A grateful heart signals to the universe that you are ready for abundance, not just in material wealth, but in joy, peace, and fulfillment. The more you give thanks, the more you will find to be thankful for, until your life becomes a reflection of appreciation rewarded. The people you choose to surround yourself with shape the direction of your life more than most realize. Thoughts, habits, and attitudes are contagious, and when you walk daily among those who lack vision, it becomes easy for your own dreams to wither. Association is like the soil in which you plant your ambitions. Rich soil produces growth, while barren soil stunts it. If you want to rise, you must choose companions who inspire, challenge, and uplift, for the environment of the mind is as vital as the environment of the body. When you associate with those who carry vision and determination, their energy fuels your own. Their conversations awaken ideas, their actions ignite courage, and their example sets a higher standard for what you believe is possible. Without even realizing it, you begin to stretch beyond your limits, because greatness in others calls out the greatness within you. This is why it is said that walking with giants does not allow the mind to remain small. Your circle either expands your possibilities or quietly restricts them. Association also acts as a mirror. The people closest to you reflect what you tolerate and what you accept. If you surround yourself with negativity, gossip, and defeat, you will inevitably absorb some of that outlook, no matter how strong your will. On the other hand, being among those who strive for excellence forces you to examine your own life honestly. Their progress becomes a reminder that you too can achieve, and their standards hold you accountable to the best within yourself. At times, choosing association wisely means letting go of relationships that no longer serve your growth. This can be difficult, for comfort often binds us to familiarity. Yet if a person consistently drains your spirit, undermines your confidence, or dismisses your vision, their presence is costing you more than you realize. Protecting your focus is an act of responsibility, and part of that responsibility is building an environment where your dreams can breathe freely. Ultimately, association is not just about who you spend time with, but about the energy you allow to influence your thoughts. The universe responds not only to your focus, but also to the collective atmosphere you create around yourself. When you align with those who believe in possibility, who carry gratitude, courage, and ambition, your own path accelerates. You rise together, each one lifting the other higher. The right company becomes more than companionship. It becomes a powerful force that propels you toward your destiny. Imagination is the birthplace of every invention, every discovery, and every achievement humanity has ever known. Before a bridge is built, it exists in the mind of the engineer. Before a book is written, it is first lived in the imagination of the author. Before a victory is won, the athlete sees it clearly in the theater of their mind. All things are created twice, first as a vision and then as a reality. Without imagination, there is no blueprint for the universe to follow, and without a blueprint, life is nothing to construct. The power of imagination lies in its ability to paint vivid pictures of what could be, even when current circumstances show no evidence of it. A person may be surrounded by difficulty, yet within the privacy of their mind, they can build castles, create solutions, and design futures that defy the present. This inner vision fuels resilience because once the mind has experienced a possibility, the heart becomes unwilling to settle for less. Imagination provides hope when facts offer none, and that hope keeps the dreamer moving forward. When imagination is engaged with desire and faith, it takes on the quality of certainty. To dream vividly as though the vision were already real is to impress that picture upon the subconscious mind, which in turn directs your thoughts, behaviors, and choices to align with it. You begin to act in harmony with what you have imagined, and soon the world outside begins to match the image inside. The universe responds to what you hold with intensity and clarity in your imagination, arranging circumstances and opportunities to mirror your inner vision. Imagination also expands the boundaries of what is possible. Too often, people live trapped within limitations imposed by society, upbringing, or past experiences. They believe they cannot go further because no one around them has, but imagination is the tool that breaks those chains, allowing you to see beyond the ordinary into the extraordinary. It is not confined by logic, by time, or by past failures. It dares to ask, what if? And in asking, it opens doors to realities that once seemed unreachable. The use of imagination requires discipline, for a mind left unchecked will often drift into fear, doubt, and worst-case scenarios. Just as imagination can create abundance, it can also create misery if directed toward negative visions. A person who constantly imagines failure eventually lives it, just as one who imagines success creates the conditions for it. This is why it is essential to guard the images you allow to dominate your mind. What you repeatedly picture with feeling becomes the pattern your life follows. In the end, imagination is not fantasy, it is creation. It is the workshop of the mind, where thoughts become designs and designs become destiny. Those who cultivate the ability to dream vividly, to see their future before it appears, hold the greatest power of all. For once a vision is born within the imagination and nourished with desire, faith, and persistence, it becomes only a matter of time before it takes form in the world. The universe has no choice but to respond, because it always delivers according to the images most clearly impressed upon the mind. Responsibility is the foundation upon which every lasting success is built. To live without accepting responsibility is to drift through life as though you are powerless, a victim of chance and circumstance. But the truth is that you are the architect of your destiny, and your focus is the blueprint. Each thought you allow, each belief you hold, and each action you take is a material placed in the construction of your future. Just as a builder would never choose weak stone or rotten wood, you must choose your thoughts with care, for they form the structure you will one day inhabit. When you embrace responsibility, you reclaim your power. No longer do you waste time blaming fate, luck, or other people for where you stand. Instead, you look inward and recognize that your choices have brought you to this point, and your choices will carry you forward. This realization is liberating because it means you are not at the mercy of forces beyond your control. The moment you decide that you are responsible, you step into the role of creator, and creation is always within your grasp. Taking responsibility also demands discipline. It requires honesty to admit when your own decisions, habits, or attitudes have created your struggles. Many shrink from this truth, preferring to place fault elsewhere, but that path only ensures they repeat the same mistakes. Those who accept responsibility, however, gain the chance to correct course. They see each setback not as proof of failure, but as a lesson to be learned and applied. In this way, responsibility transforms hardship into growth and mistakes into stepping stones. Responsibility strengthens character, for it demands that you live intentionally. You begin to measure your actions, guard your words, and elevate your thoughts because you know they all carry consequences. Every decision, no matter how small, either builds or weakens the house you are creating. When you take responsibility seriously, you become more deliberate with your time, your energy, and your focus. You act with purpose instead of drifting in reaction, and purpose always leads to power. Ultimately, responsibility is freedom. It frees you from waiting for others to save you or for luck to favor you. It places the future firmly in your hands and makes you the author of your own story. Life will always present challenges, but when you accept responsibility, you understand that within every challenge lies a choice, and that choice is yours. The universe rewards the one who stands tall and declares, "I am the builder of my destiny." For when you take responsibility, you prove yourself worthy of the life you desire, and the universe responds by providing the materials to match your blueprint. My friends, the universe is not distant. It is responsive. It listens to your focus, your faith, your persistence, and your gratitude. Whatever you feed your mind, it will multiply. The great secret is this: your world is the reflection of your inner vision. So focus boldly, desire fiercely, act courageously, and watch as the universe provides in ways greater than you ever imagined.